back. We is back. We is back. We is back. That like button. Try to warn y'all, man, about the YouTube federal program. Niggas think it's a joke. Think I just made it up. I ain't make it up, man. There's a program. I don't know what the name of it is. But it's obvious that there's a program that get rats and snitches onto the internet and shop them to multiple platforms, yo. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. It's been existing for a while now. Everybody that's in that thumbnail, I think, is a part of it. And, you know, it may be more. I forgot Trench's news. I think he might have been the originator. I mean, Suddy Nash, 1090 Jake, you really, all these guys is in that program, man. Can't get K-47, in my opinion. You know, what it looks like to me. All these guys had wild run-ins with the police, or was doing some type of time, or had some type of case, and they went from the case to the internet, and from the internet to the moon. Y'all think that shit happening organically? Nope. I don't believe that. It's happening too often for it to be organic. It's happening way too often for it to be organic. Man, what it do, my nigga? Now you got Sosa. He look like he the latest inductee. Y'all heard how he was talking when he came home? That man was talking like he already got everything lined up. You heard me? How the fuck he get shit lined up like that from jail, man? He already got it lined up. Interviews, a nigga probably booked for the next month. You heard me? Adam 22, Vlad, Can Capone, you know, a couple smaller platforms. Trying to tell you, man, y'all think that shit crazy. Y'all gonna realize it one day. Niggas don't like listening. Yo, I just go with what makes sense, yo. Like, it's not like back in the day no more where, you know, with this digital era, it ain't like back in the day. You know, you ain't always gonna have like motherfucking substantial proof, or you know what they call that shit in court. You know, some of this shit gonna be circumstantial, man. It ain't always gonna be concrete. Not in the digital area where you can hide everything. It ain't always gonna be concrete, yo. But we gotta start using more common sense and apply it to some of these situations, man. For real. They ain't like back in the day, y'all. Motherfuckers can hide shit. People doing faceless pages. You know what I mean? The whole time they might run 3 faceless pages and 1 page where they show their face. And you don't never know that they connected to the other 3 faceless pages. That's the type of shit we going on, yo. But if you pay close attention and use a little bit of common sense, you can connect it. Trying to tell y'all, man, pay attention what the fuck going on, man. We keep having these niggas come from the stand onto the internet. Come from the stand to Vlad. Come from the stand to Adam 22. The stand, the interrogation room to Instagram. Like I'm trying to tell y'all, man. That shit ain't happening by mistake, man. Because this algorithm will play with you. It's like in the road to success for some of these guys, there's no bumps. You know what I mean? There's no hurdles. There's no obstacles. It's just from here to here. You know how they do, bro. You know how they do. I'm ready to sit outside because it's hot there. Yeah, like, yo. I need people to start paying attention to what's going on, man. For real. Pay very close attention to what's going on and what's being promoted. Matter of fact, I'm ready to sit in here. And just apply a little bit of logic and a little bit of common sense. That's all you gotta do. Apply a little bit of logic and a little bit of common sense, and you'll see what the fuck going on out this bitch. When you see niggas coming up with no interruptions, you better question it. I'm trying to tell you. They want people to believe that the world has just been more open to rats. That's what they want you to believe. But nah, yo, this shit has been designed and orchestrated. You understand what I'm saying? It's a team behind this shit. It's a team behind this shit, man. It's an agency behind this, man. This ain't nothing that's just happening organic. For real. Just think about it, y'all. For all these years in the black community, you know, we always shunned rats. You know what I mean? For a number of reasons. Not even because of no street shit. It's because that we know that the rats are the most dangerous people on the streets. They're the most dangerous. They lie, they steal, they kill, they cheat. They dangerous. Now all of a sudden they want to convince everybody that no, you know, it ain't that bad now. You know, you can support the rats. You know, it's some street shit. And now everybody just agreeing now. No, yo, that shit not happening by mistake, man. That shit is orchestrated. It's similar to like what they did in the music industry. You know, they can make any song hot. All they gotta do is play it enough. So when you got these situations with these guys that's coming home from jail or at the snitching on niggas or taking whole empires down, that shit not, nah, yo, that shit not normal. That ain't normal for it to keep happening. All right, it happened with Butter. No, first it happened with Terrence Williams. He was the first one. Then you find out Trisha's News was in that. Then FBG Butter. Then Queso Fall. Then Hernandez Govan. Then Lil Woody. It's like, hold the fuck up, man. What the fuck is really going on, man? Nah, I ain't never get kicked. Oh, yeah, he blocked me. I ain't get kicked out. Yeah, Posted was jealous, man. Yeah, Posted was jealous. He fucked his own room up because he wanted to be the only nigga in there with a voice. Fucked his whole platform up. But yeah, though, y'all, that shit not happening by mistake. It's not happening by mistake. Like, so now all of a sudden everybody just interested in these niggas that snitching. You got FBG Butter that convinced the world that he told on the dead. Matter of fact, the first person that happened with was Troy Ave. No, first it was 6ix9ine. We rejected 6ix9ine. And y'all remember who connected to both 6ix9ine and Troy Ave? Motherfucking Whack 100. Whack 100 and Charleston White was the ones that pushed this shit. They like the leaders of the motherfucking the federal police federal YouTube program. I don't know if that's the name of it. I'm just saying, yo, it's a program, yo, that exists. That take these snitching ass niggas and promise them a career in YouTube. So they tried it with 6ix9ine. The whole community rejected 6ix9ine. Then it worked with Troy Ave. If y'all can remember, after Troy Ave told on Tax Tone, the narrative got spent that Tax Tone told on Troy Ave, and a lot of people still believe that. Like that's how strong the narrative was. People still believe it. People is calling Tax Tone a rat when Tax Tone caught 30 years, and Troy Ave got caught with 2 guns while being a convicted felon and only caught a year. Only caught a year. Fuck around my elbow. It hurt like a bitch. So it worked with it was first tried with 6ix9ine. Niggas rejected him. Then they did it with Then they did it with Troy Ave. Whack 100 was connected to both these people. Then you got Charleston White come out of nowhere, pushing the same line, pushing this snitch shit. And then the fucking floodgates open. Trenches News, FBG Butter. And then you gotta think, yo, some of these people not even interested. They don't even have character. Like a Hernandez Govan or Queso Father. Them niggas don't even got character. They not even funny. They not intriguing. They ain't good storytellers. They bland as a bitch. So how the fuck is they getting on every single platform? Like I can see like somebody like Butter. Butter got character. Woody got character. Now I ain't vouching for none of them. I'm just saying I can see how they was able to do it. But when you got people like Hernandez Govan, have you ever watched any of his interviews? Not me. I only seen them on. I only see clips. But when you watch him, he's like, this nigga is not even interesting, man. He ain't no good storyteller. He not animated. He just... So how the fuck is he getting all these opportunities that other people ain't? Because he's in a program. I'm trying to tell you, whatever the name of it is. He's in a program. They all is. They all is, man. It's almost like witness protection. You know what I mean? We're gonna get you so much money that you ain't gotta be nowhere near these people who you told on. You ain't even gotta, bump shoulders with the community that, that's shunning you. Nah, fuck no, we gonna lift you over top of them motherfuckers and make you a voice of some shit. I just pay attention, man. It's a dirty game what's going on. It's a dirty game, man. Because at the same time this is happening, the rail was getting overlooked. It's just another way to keep the rail out. You know what I mean? Keep the prison system packed, keep the rail out. Like, niggas interviewed Queso Father, yo. That nigga told on his son. You understand what I'm saying? That nigga told on his son, man. It did. It did, y'all. Because we're not in control of our own narrative once again. Once again, the black community, just like they did with hip-hop, we're not in control of our own narrative. We keep letting, because that's why I always tell y'all, yo, the black sellout. That's the issue. Like, we can't attack white supremacy until we remove the black sellout. Like, there's no way we'll ever get to a point where we can address head on what's going on in our community until we get these niggas out the way. The Whack 100s, the Charleston Whites, the, you know, it's a whole bunch of them niggas. The Al Sharptons, the, you feel me? We can't get nowhere till they get removed, man. But the problem is, whenever one go, there's always another one to take a spot. It's always another one to take them. That's why the niggas get paid so much. The Umars. That's why when you got somebody like a Charleston White, he stick around for so long, you know, because he's a top sellout. You feel me? They need that nigga. I don't even think his numbers real, to be honest. After all this time, all the disrespectful shit he said, he's still able to get 300,000, 400,000. Man, fuck, no, them numbers ain't real, man. They just want to trick people into believing that he's still a thing. Because what that also does is it creates new ones. You know what I mean? When you see a sellout ass nigga like a Charleston White or any of these guys getting money, it creates new people. But the new people don't realize that, yo, this nigga not organic. Like, you can do everything he did and you'll never get to where he at. That's the part niggas don't know. That's the quiet part that need to be spoken out loud. When you got copycats that think they gonna get to they think they gonna follow the same path as this nigga, not knowing that this nigga is he signed. You feel me? Or he fucking with one of these agencies. You ain't never gonna get to where he go. All you gonna do is go to jail. You feel me? Or get killed. You ain't making it on these motherfucking platforms, man. You ain't never gonna make it there. But that's what we dealing with, though, y'all. It's sad to watch. For real. It's sad to watch. And it ain't just in this hip hop space. It's in all these genres. You know, I think one of the most profitable genre is the, like, you know, the red pill, blue pill shit. How the fuck you come back, man? Yeah, I did. I don't know how the fuck you came back. Yeah, that's probably one of the most profitable. You know, the ones, look, they'll keep coming back. The fuck, you got 75 different pages, bro? Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Appreciate it, Al. He must got a whole bunch of different pages. I don't know what the fuck that shit about. But yeah, it's a dirty game, man. Man, Sosa tripping, think he gonna play with them people like that. He tried to go the FBG butter route. That's he tried to go the FBG butter route. You know, the Terrence Gangster Williams route. But he don't know Baltimore ain't co-signing that, bro. That shit ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna be able to tell the whole Baltimore that you told on the dead, bro. Nah, we're a little bit more. We're a little bit more knowledgeable about law than that. Like, you ain't telling no dead. You laid the foundation for a motherfucking indictment. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this fucking page. Like, he must got several different accounts. I don't even know what the fuck that shit mean. Just block all them bitches. Every time you come back with another one. Fuck it. Fight the police. Yeah, that's what Butter did. That's what Butter did. But most people don't realize that. Most people say, I'm saying, but he told on the dead. Like that nigga ain't telling on the dead. You think they was giving them all them breaks on them pistol charges for telling on the dead? Man, fuck no. That nigga ain't telling no dead. That nigga provided clarity to the war between O Block and 63rd. That's why his testimony started in 2010 or whatever it started. Just like Sosa shit. That's why Sosa's witness statement started at the beginning. I was home. I was a young kid. I was selling waters. Then this shit happened. Then yo went to jail. Then he came home. That's what all that shit was about. That's all that shit was about. But the world, see, that's the thing. The world might believe that. Baltimore ain't gonna co-sign that, but the world might, just like they did for Butter. When people like you, they'll make a million excuses for you. Just like they did for Butter. The world gonna be like, I'm saying, well, who he tell on? Sound like everybody dead. Not realizing that, nah, yo, that ain't even why they needed yo. They ain't need him to Butter. They ain't need Butter to speak on anything specific. You know what I mean? They needed Butter just to add context so the other information that they got from other people makes sense. That's all that was about. Fuck my phone up. Just heard that bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what that was about. Yeah, that shit wild though. Man, fuck him, yo. Like, he want spam. Nightbot to get rid of him. Don't they worry about it. Nightbot gonna come soon. I hope, anyway. Yeah, straight up. But some of the people, make excuses for that shit. Like, no, he just told on the dead. Y'all know how that shit go. Yo, this nigga is on multiple accounts. By the feds. No, they mad right now at me. They probably don't like the fact that I'm talking about the YouTube federal program. You never know. Yeah, that shit ain't gonna work in Baltimore. That ain't gonna work. That shit, that's no snitching shit is too ingrained in Baltimore culture. You know what I mean? It's too ingrained. That shit ain't gonna work here. But I just wanted to shed light on that, yo, because I think it's a lot of people that's doing that shit. And it's awesomely like it's serving two purposes. It's pushing disruption into the community, and it's keeping organic people from reaching those platforms. So they winning all around the board. We don't get no real message that reach millions. You know what I mean? We get a controlled message. And at the same time, it's causing disruption in the community. So it's a win-win. And it ain't really no way to stop it, because they got the bread to pay these motherfuckers. My sole purpose is to, enlighten people on what's going on, so when you see it, you recognize it. You know what I mean? That's why I was on the Baltimore Call nigga hills. You know what I mean? Like that. I had a nigga just hit me the other day from O'Donnell Heights. Said he never met him, don't know him. After I had another motherfucker hit me and say that he do know him, or at least know the people that he was around. But this nigga that hit me that's from the project sent me proof that he from the project. Showed me messages that he reached other niggas that hang down the other end. Do they know him and never heard of him? Now you got him sitting with motherfucking Marlo Stanfield. And Marlo Stanfield sitting there calling him his nephew. Probably paid him a couple of dollars. You know, just so he can kind of gain more credibility. It's like, oh, they creating these niggas, man. That's the only way to stop organic people is if you create them. Similar to what they said when it came down to the Black Revolution. They said there'd never be another black messiah unless we give them to them. It's the same concept. We just gonna keep creating these niggas. That way, no organic niggas, a nigga like a Keep It G News or a Byron Blake or, you know, some of these other niggas, you know, a Raw Dope Podcast. So these niggas will never break through. You're gonna flood the algorithm with fucking informants and sellouts. Trying to disrupt the live. I ain't paying that shit no mind. Fuck him. He gonna get tired of that shit eventually. Yeah, he gonna tired of that shit eventually. Alright, so yo, Durk went to court yesterday. Remember the other day I was telling y'all, yo, Durk's biggest hearing was motherfucking Sunday, yesterday, Thursday. Let me show y'all two versions of the story. You got Trap Lord Ross. Yo, Durk need to get Trap Lord Ross kicked out that hearing, man. For real. He need to get Trap Lord Ross kicked out that hearing, yo. He don't need to be there, man. We do not need Trap Lord Ross covering Durk case. Durk need to pull a move like he did with like they did in the O-Block trial. They need to get that nigga out of there, man. Yeah, Sosa ready to make some money. Because Sosa got a fan base outside of Baltimore, yo. That's the thing. What's going on, brother? That's the thing people don't understand. Like, he got like, when I do videos on Sosa, like, older videos, them bitches go crazy, yo. Like, numbers is bigger than Tech, Chaz, all of them. You feel me? So, listen to this.
There are a couple of really interesting new things that came up in Durk's hearing today that I didn't get a chance to tell you about earlier. One of the biggest things that I'm seeing everybody talking about since we got the update was that there are officially 35 witnesses that the government are planning to bring forward towards Durk. The judge was shocked at this. When the prosecution said we got 35 witnesses, the judge went, 35? And they said, yeah. But they said, look, some of them we're going to get through quickly. They explained who some of the witnesses that they were calling were, and it was really interesting. And to be honest, some of the people that they're bringing, they got a lot of history. So apparently...
Look, you see how, this is why he don't need to be there, man. Because his coverage is not going to be, it's going to be biased. Look, very bad news for Durk. Look, he already pushing the lie. We're gonna go through all this shit. Okay. Look at the title. Durk takes huge L and small W in court. Judge say half the lyrics allowed. Yo, I don't think Durk took no L. I don't think Durk took. I think Durk made it out in court. The biggest thing is that phone evidence. If he can get that phone evidence tossed, because what they got right now, I don't even think they're going to be able to use, because they only got little screenshots, and they can't say who sent it, or even if Durk sent it. You feel me? They can't get into the phone, but I'll get to that.
I'm here at the courthouse, the federal courthouse in Los Angeles, and I've just got out of the latest Durk hearing, and it was very, very interesting. I'm not going to lie to you, wasn't the best day for Durk today. The last session that we had, it was pretty good for Durk. He was taking some W's. This time, there were a couple of small W's, but I would say right now, unfortunately, I would say the L's kind of outweigh the W's. The biggest thing that we heard from the courtroom is that the judge is going to allow a lot of, not all, but a lot of lyrics that Durk has kind of put out there in his music to be used against him. Specifically, the judge ruled that the song Pissed Me Off and the music video could be used. The judge even said, I've watched the video, I've listened to the lyrics, and basically the word slide for Von came up several times. They said, look, the song was basically a calling to the public, a calling to other gang members to slide for Von. They brought up King Von's kids being mentioned in the song, Sun, Sun, and True. They did get it correct and say that True was King Von's daughter. I know that was a point of contention for a lot of people, whether that was son or daughter. Didn't really matter at this point. They kind of brought up a whole lot of things that were very interesting.
Yeah.
And the defense really tried to pull this move to say, and I said before that this was a pretty ridiculous defense, but this kind of argument that, oh no, that Pissed Me Off, that came out before, they tried to kill Quando Rondo and Lil Pap got killed. That's a song about Get Back for D-Thang. That's a song about a different murder that Durk definitely wasn't involved in. So it was a little bit of a strange one, and the judge really wasn't trying to hear it. They brought up the lyrics about put up money for a hot car, put up money for a bond, and what was really crazy is they said that we have a participating witness that is going to testify on behalf of the government to say that he was the one, he was at the music video shoot for Piss Me Off, and he was the one that got the hot car. When Durk talking about put up money for a hot car, put up money for a bond, the guy that took that money and went and got the hot car is going to be testifying against Durk. So that was very, very bad. And then basically after that, I've got to switch a few pages here, but the judge basically kind of ruled that a bunch of other songs would be allowed to be used. So I think they originally wanted about 10 different songs to be included. The judge basically said 4 he's definitely going to be allowed to be used in the case. And it was pretty funny hearing the judge say this. Said Scoom His Ass was allowed to be used. Back Again, which might be one of my favorite songs of all time. Still Running, I think it was. I wasn't sure if that was meant to be Still Trapping. Threats to Everybody. And then he basically said... He said 4, and then he said, Red Man, but that was already kind of allowed to be included. So there was like a bunch of other songs that weren't allowed to be used. And to me, the most shocking thing, and probably the biggest W that Durk had in court today, that song, War About It, which I've said so many times, like, surely they're going to use War About It. They got Durk talking about, no, I said, let's go to war about it. The judge said, well, you know what? The word no, it's so ubiquitous. I'm not seeing the connection there. Now, I don't know if he's heard War About It. I feel like the judge maybe, I hope he listens to War About It. I mean, he's discovering all this great Durk music, but War About It, what I said was one of the most damning songs. That's not going to be allowed. So that's a small W for Durk, but really quite a few L's if I'm honest with you. But I'll keep you guys posted on any more updates. Okay, so I'm here at
them music videos, them songs is not strong evidence. Like, how Durk, like, his songs that people be trying to connect the murders and crimes, it don't really never speak to any, like, substantial evidence. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you got some drill rappers, they get real specific in their lyrics. It's almost to where so you can tie, like, direct evidence to crimes. Durk shit ain't like that. Durk shit can go multiple different ways. But Trap Lord Ross is painting it like that's like concrete evidence. Like it's like a smoking gun. Like they got his fingerprints on a fucking bullet or something. You feel me? Like that shit ain't strong like that, man.
Right, so I'm still outside the courthouse from the Lil Durk hearing, and there was another kind of not so great piece of news for Durk. I mean, really, this was actually very bad news. It was ruled that this evidence that was on his phone, remember we heard about he had a phone that was taken from him after he was this victim of a home invasion in 2021. He had fired shots into the air, and allegedly, the cops basically said that they had probable cause to seize his phone to investigate because things weren't really adding up. Even though he was the victim of an alleged home invasion, they said that he'd been reckless and fired the shots into the air. Now, they held on to that phone from 2021. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, because it happened in Atlanta, they had kind of, tried to crack the phone. They had got like a very basic, cracking of the phone where it was they described it as like a first unlock mode. So if you turn your phone off and you turn it back on, you're in the first unlock. It hasn't been unlocked yet, right? So if your phone is in that state, what it basically means is that they can't get everything. They can't get all the messages. They can get all your images. They can get the thumbnails. They can get screenshots, but they can't get the actual messages. So Durk and his team were basically trying to argue that because the phone had been held onto for 5 years, the FBI filed a federal search warrant for the phone all the way in June 2021. 2026 that they shouldn't be allowed to use that evidence, and it was gathered improperly. This was an L for Durk. The judge basically said, look, it seems like the cops acted in good faith. They had good reason to look at the phone, to seize the phone, to go through the phone back then because of the reckless shots that were fired into the air. It's not the FBI's fault. It's nothing to do with the FBI that the phone was held onto for so long. The FBI asked for that information in good faith, and the judge even said that if they continue trying to get hold of all of the other contents of the phone that weren't available yet, if they get them between now and the trial, which is in like a couple of weeks, he said, well, if the feds manage to get all of the information off those phones, then we're gonna have to revisit it then and decide whether I'm going to be allowing them to look at all that stuff. And it sounds like that is going to be able to be used against him. And the contents of the phone was pretty damning. It was, you know, photographs, screenshots. Apparently there was a screenshot of a conversation where they were trying to get Lil Tim's address, and the government basically said, yeah, that we have the metadata to show that screenshot was 2 days after Lil Tim was released on house arrest. So they were tracking his movements. It sounded like the stalking was taking place. They said that the screenshot of Quando Rondo's concert posters that were found in the phone, that was within a few days of him being shot at outside of his concert. So the government basically said, look, we got that information fair and square. The judge wasn't really trying to hear the other arguments. I mean, he was trying to hear them, and he said, I'm not going for it. It is going to be allowed. And he said that it sounds like the authorities acted in good faith, and if they get more information, they're going to be able to use that too. So that was pretty bad news for Durk, to be honest with you. But I'm going to do a big update with everything else on my channel, Trapmore Ross on YouTube. So stay tuned for my full update. And there's a few W's that I'm going to let you guys know that Durk had in court today as well soon. Right, so I'm still outside the...
That's a fucking lie. That ain't even what happened, y'all. Like, that's why we don't need Trap Lil Ross there. Like, he's there to bury Durk. Watch. I hope he get kicked out of the courtroom. His whole coverage is going to be biased. You understand what I'm saying? He's only going to be telling the prosecution's narrative. We don't want to hear the we already know the prosecution narrative. We want to hear the defense side. Somebody trying to help the fuck the prosecutor. Them niggas be lying all the time.
So there were a couple of really interesting new things that came up in Durk's hearing today that I didn't get a chance to tell you about earlier. One of the biggest things that I'm seeing everybody talking about since we got the update was that there are officially 35 witnesses that the government are planning to bring forward towards Durk. The judge was shocked at this. When the prosecution said we got 35 witnesses, the judge went, 35? And they said, yeah. But they said, look, some of them we're going to get through quickly. They explained who some of the witnesses that they were calling were, and it was really interesting. And to be honest, some of the people that they're bringing, they got a lot of history. So apparently, one of the people that they want to bring is a detective in Chicago who has a lot of experience with gang cases, with the Black Disciples, Gangster Disciples. And apparently, this gang detective in Chicago has actually arrested Lil Durk in Chicago before. Now, they said that they weren't actually going to, or they weren't allowed to bring that up. That wasn't... The fact that he had arrested Durk back in the day wasn't something that they said that they wanted to bring up. That just was by the by. But this is a gang expert that they want to bring. In addition to that, they apparently said, look, we're going to get through some of them quickly. For example, they said that one of the people that they wanted to bring forward was some kind of detective, or not a detective, but basically they said that somebody was going to come along with accompanying evidence, and that evidence was going to be surveillance footage from the San Diego airport, where basically, like, the hitmen had been flown out from Chicago to San Diego rather than LA. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if they thought that would help them, like, evade detection, or it would help them not get caught if they landed in San Diego and drove up to LA to commit this murder. It doesn't really make sense. But like, those are just like a couple of the witnesses that we found out that want to be brought forward. There were kind of witnesses on the other side that were discussed. There's basically like the gang expert that arrested Durk back in the day. Drew Findling did an amazing masterclass in court where he basically said, well, we've got our own gang expert that I know that the state don't want to include.
I was ready to say that bar out. Yeah, don't put too much stock in that 35 witnesses shit. You know what I mean? 35 witnesses could be fingerprint analysis. Like, they ain't gonna be 35 people that say, man, I know Durk did it. I was with him. I seen him. He told me. Like, no, it ain't gonna be them. You know what I mean? 35 witnesses, they say only 20 of them is substantial. And that's even questionable. You feel me? So yeah, don't really fall for that. Yo, they got a habit of lying, man. Like even when they was painting this narrative that they got all this footage, from the phone. They got messages of Durk um, asking where Lord Tim live at, or him getting his arrest to where he was getting house arrest at. They got evidence that it was a message shown that when Quando Rondo got shot at in Georgia. That's not really, they don't really have that. They got screenshots of it. But what you're gonna find out is they don't know if Durk sent that. They don't know if it was sent to Durk. They don't even know if Durk had anything to do with it. You understand what I'm saying? But this is how they put the stories out. And these blogs will run with it and have people all fucked up, because the goal is to kill them in public opinion first. That's the federal government goal. We learned that in Diddy trial. That's the game they play. They play the public perception game. But then at the same time, when the defense play the game, they want to stop the defense from playing it. No, we're not doing that. If y'all gonna play the social media game, and y'all gonna use the ignorance of these bloggers to push false narratives, then we should be able to do the same thing too. But the federal government don't like that. They don't like that. They try to stop it. They try to put a gag order on it. Alright, so listen to this girl explain it.
I'm not a lawyer, but I just got back from Durk's August 13th pretrial hearing. So let me fill you in on the highlights. And as a reminder, Durk's federal trial is currently scheduled to begin on August 20th, 2026. So this hearing happened exactly 1 week before jury selection and the trial is supposed to start. And there was a lot to go over, so try to keep up. So first up was Durk's Piss Me Off video. The government filed a motion asking for that video to be allowed in the trial because, according to them, it was Durk basically issuing a call to arms. The government specifically referenced the lyrics, quote, "Why you act like you support us? If you do, hop in that coupe. If you ain't with it, put up money for a gun. Put up money for a hot car. Put up money for a bond." So the government argued that this was Durk expressing his anger and disappointment of other people not sliding for bond. And they say one of their cooperating witnesses.
They're going to try to use that to say, look, this is when the bounty was placed. Because they don't have any proof of a bounty being placed. But this is what they're going to try. Like, that's not strong, man. It's going to be some jurors that ain't going to buy that shit. You know what I mean? So basically, he placed the worldwide bounty. He placed the bounty on wax. He didn't have an individual conversation with none of these people because they don't got no proof of that. They saying that he placed the bounty through his music. I don't know how many jurors going to co-sign that, man. For real, that's crazy.
When the video for that song was filmed, and this person is also the person who allegedly got the hot car that was used in this LA murder, and this witness says it was done at the direction of Durk. So in regards to this argument
that's not my assumption, y'all. That's what they're trying to do, man. That ain't my opinion. That's what they're trying to do. It's in paperwork that they don't got no proof of a bounty. They don't have no proof of a bounty, y'all. That's why they took the language out. If you can remember the original indictment said that they had proof that people was paid. Then in the superseding indictment, they took that out. Now the witness is saying, I felt pressured. That's their case, and that's why they're gonna use that to make that point. You'll see. You think I'm just assuming?
Music video being allowed in, the judge allowed both sides to make their arguments, and at the end he ordered that the music video can be used in the trial. Okay, next up was the argument regarding evidence from Durk's cell phone that law enforcement obtained after his house was robbed back in 2021 in Georgia. But before we get into this argument, there's some important context that you need to understand. So back in 2021, when law enforcement first got Durk's phone, they did an extraction on it. But they did that extraction under what's called before first unlock. And that basically means law enforcement was able to power Durk's phone on, but they were not able to unlock it. And And so, when an extraction is done on a phone that's turned on but not unlocked, only some information is able to be exported. So in this case, when law enforcement did the extraction, they were able to retrieve a bunch of thumbnails with dates and times, but they're not able to see who sent those thumbnails or if Durk responded to the thumbnails or any.
That's all they got. That's all they got. Like, like, what the fuck is that? Just some thumbnails, screenshots with times, but they don't know. They don't know what that shit mean. That ain't gonna be no. That's not gonna be strong evidence. But they painted that. They painted that at first like, yo, this is a smoking gun. Had me thinking. I was talking to Alvin in the comments like, yo, get that shit tossed. If they got proof of those type of messages, that's trouble. That's trouble. But then you find out that they don't actually got proof of those type of messages. They just got screenshots that could have just been in his phone or somebody else's phone that sent it to him.
Other context related to the thumbnails. And so, while the government has 3 to 4 thumbnails that they did an extraction on it, but they did that extraction under what's called before first unlock. And that basically means law enforcement was able to power Durk's phone on, but they were not able to unlock it. And so when an extraction is done on a phone that's turned on but not unlocked, only some information is able to be exported. So in this case, when law enforcement did the extraction, they were able to retrieve a bunch of thumbnails with dates and times, but they're not able to see who sent those thumbnails or if Durk responded to the thumbnails or any other context related to the thumbnails. And so while the government has 3 to 4 thumbnails that they found in the extraction and want to use in the trial, one containing the address of Lil Tim, aka Timothy Leaks, one is a flyer about a concert Quando Rondo had, and then the third one is some kind of article that references the time Quando Rondo got shot in Georgia. Durk's attorney, Christy O'Connor, made the argument that it's unfair to use these thumbnails because nobody has the full context of them. So the government is left with 2 options. Number 1, Durk can give them the password to the phone, and that way they can unlock it and get the full context of these thumbnails, which is clearly never going to happen. Or the second option is the government has some kind of IT person somewhere to hack the phone. And so as of right now, they're trying to hack it. But in the meantime, while this phone has not been hacked, Durk's attorney says whatever's on this phone should not be allowed in the trial. And just to be clear, this thumbnail context issue is just one of the reasons Christy O'Connor is arguing that the phone evidence should not be allowed in. She also argued that the phone shouldn't have been taken in the first place back in 2021, and that law enforcement has had it for 5 years, despite one of Durk's attorneys asking for it back. And then the third reason is Durk's attorney says if the phone is able to be hacked, they would want their own experts to review the contents of the phone. And with trial starting in a week, there's no time for that. So the judge makes a few decisions on this issue. Number 1, the issue overall is being taken under submission, but all parties should prepare as if the judge is going to allow the phone evidence in. And then number 2, while the judge is deciding if the evidence will come in, the government should continue trying to hack it. And if they are able to get in, and if the judge does allow the evidence in, it wouldn't come in until toward the end of the trial so that the defense has enough time to get an expert to review the hacked phone. Okay, the next issue was the government's motion for a gag order, and that motion was denied. The judge said a gag order is not necessary right now. And then after that was the government's motion to exclude testimony from 4 experts that Durk wants to testify. But the judge denied this request, saying that his normal practice is to allow all experts to testify and then let the jury decide who they believe. Next up had to do with the government's motion in limine number 6, which was filed under seal.
I have never seen the government try to stop a defense team from bringing expert witnesses. I think that is telling in itself. Have you ever seen that? How are y'all gonna bring expert witnesses but want to block mine? I ain't never seen that before, y'all. I thought that was a wild motion. I knew that shit was gonna get denied. For the most part, this played out exactly how I said it was gonna play out. Well, I don't think I said it on YouTube. I know I talked to Alvin about it. But this hearing played out exactly how I thought it was gonna play out.
When first got Durk's phone, they did an extraction on it. But they did that extraction under what's called before first unlock. And that basically means law enforcement was able to power Durk's phone on, but they were not able to unlock it. And so, when an extraction
Yeah.
is done on a phone that's turned on but not unlocked, only some information is able to be exported. So, in this case, when law enforcement did the extraction, they were able to retrieve a bunch of thumbnails with dates and times, but they're not able to see who sent those thumbnails or if Durk responded to the thumbnails or any other context related to the thumbnails. And so, while the government has 3 to 4 thumbnails that they found in the extraction and want to use in the trial, one containing the address of Lil Tim, aka Timothy Leaks, one is a flyer about a concert Quando Rondo had, and then the third one is some kind of article that references the time Quando Rondo got shot in Georgia. Durk's attorney, Christy O'Connor, made the argument that it's unfair to use these thumbnails because nobody has the full context of them. So the government is left with 2 options. Number 1, Durk can give them the password to the phone. If the phone is able to be hacked, they would want their own experts to review the contents of the phone. And with trial starting in a week, there's no time. But the government, what it says, but during the hearing, this motion was brought up, and motion to exclude testimony from 4 experts that Durk wants to testify. But the judge denied this request, saying that his normal practice is to allow all experts to testify and then let the jury decide who they believe. Next up had to do with the government's motion in limine number 6, which was filed under seal, so we weren't able to actually read what it says. But during the hearing, this motion was brought up, and it seems to be about the government wanting to play clips from 10 of Durk's songs. After hearing arguments about this, the judge told the government to pick 2 of the 10 songs, and they can decide if those will be discussed at the next hearing. Okay, so there were a few more rulings, but I'm going to jump to some of the other highlights from the day that you might find interesting. Number 1 is the government says they have 35 witnesses that they want to testify in this trial, and the judge was shocked by this number. Shocked. But the government followed that up by saying only 20 of the 35 are actually substantive. The other 15 are more of a formality. And if the government and the defense can come to some kind of stipulation regarding some of those, they won't be necessary to testify. Okay, and then lastly, the trial is expected to last 2 to 3 weeks, going Monday to Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Jury selection is scheduled to start on Thursday, August 20th, and openings are scheduled to start on Friday. For opening statements, each side will get 1 hour, and because there are 3 defendants, they will have to split that 1 hour up however they choose. Okay, I think that's it.
I'm not a lawyer,
but
why people think that Durk deserve to go to prison, man? And if you with Durk, you got problems. Like, everybody, we got a whole case going on right now with Nolan Wells, where they is moving total slow to get an indictment. Total slow, man. That boy died, and within an hour, without no investigation, they ruled that shit as a drowning, case closed. But it's like, for some reason, whenever the suspect is black, we just supposed to just throw the book at him, send him to jail. Nah, man, fuck no. Get that man a fair motherfucking trial, man. If he win, he win. If he don't, he don't. Like, it is what it is. But it's way too many instances where you got other people that kill black people, and they get a slap on the wrist. White on white crime month is coming in a couple weeks. And I got a whole bunch of cases to show. A whole bunch of different situations. You feel me? Like, the OnlyFans model that killed her boyfriend, that was abusive to her boyfriend, she just got 6 years, yo. She got 4 years in. She fucking around ready to come home, man. They charged her. She got found guilty on manslaughter with a deadly weapon or some shit like that. 6 years. She got what's the calm should have got? Carmelo Anthony should have got. Carmelo Anthony should have got sentenced or got found guilty for the same fucking crime. Nah, we ain't doing that, man. We ain't throwing our people away, man, with this fucked up ass system that don't give a fuck about our people. On one end, they wanna send all our people to jail, but when our people get hurt, they don't want to give them justice. When our people get hurt by other ethnic groups, they don't want to give us justice. But when our people get hurt by our own people, they just expect us to jump on board with them. Nah, man, fuck no. Get that boy a fair trial, man. If he win, he win. If he don't, he don't.
I just got back from Durk's agreement.
Little Durk update. Two big pieces of news coming out of today's pretrial hearing. One, this is being posted by a lot of the blogs. It's actually completely wrong, and that's the big update. So the cell phone from the home invasion is not being allowed into evidence. The judge is taking it under submission. What's really interesting here about this cell phone, first off, it shows you about how strong this case is. They're trying to get this cell phone that they got a warrant for like a month and a half ago, and they haven't even broken in all the way into the phone. So they have like thumbnail images that something was sent to Durk, but they don't have access to the full text conversation. The argument from the defense, amongst all the other constitutional concerns, is this is incomplete evidence. What are you going to do showing somebody that this picture was sent to Durk if you can't give them the rest of the text message communication? Did he open it? Did he respond? Did he say, why are you sending these? Whatever. So this is wrong. The judge is still waiting to decide if he's going to let the cell phone invasion, seized phone evidence in. The other big headline that people are talking about, 35 witnesses from the government. Some guy texted me. He's like, yo, Durk is cooked. They got 35 witnesses. If you need 35 witnesses to prove a murder.
And Whack 100 didn't convince y'all of, man. They didn't convince y'all that locking black men up is the way to fix the community. Yeah, that's why those guys are so dangerous. We just was talking about the YouTube federal program, yo. Yo, these niggas really got a nice percentage of the black community that's on the internet thinking that sending black men to jail is the way to fix the community. Yo, that is fucking crazy, yo. Yo, let me tell you something. If that worked, yo, we would have motherfucking streets where crime don't exist. Because they've been sending black men to jail since the motherfucking 70s. You feel me? And it's like, yo, people just, I don't know what the fuck wrong with people. But, yo, that is not the way to fix the community. All that does is further fracture the community. That's all that does, man. It's not helping nothing.
That's good luck, all right? That's good luck, because that's going to take a lot of time. It's going to be throwing a lot of facts at the jury, and they don't like sending people away for life unless there's some clarity in the situation. The judge, from the reports that I'm seeing, was kind of shocked. Like, y'all got 35 witnesses for one murder? Damn. So look, here's the thing. These reports tell you everything about this trial, which is that the government is far from certain on what they're doing. They're trying to get a phone in that they picked up 6-7 weeks ago, like, and they still haven't even hacked in and cracked in and gotten...
Yo, these people commit all the atrocities around the world and get away with it. Get away with it. But they didn't convince some of us that, yo, when we commit crimes against our own people or whatever we commit crimes on, we deserve to have the book thrown at us. No, yo, that shit is crazy, man. That's crazy, yo. Like, you locking up low-level drug dealers, but Big Pharma getting away with murder. Literally. The biggest drug dealers in the world gets away with murder every fucking day. But the neighborhood drug dealer, they didn't convince y'all, you know, you selling dope to your own people and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Man, fuck out of here, man. If we gonna outlaw crime, man, outlaw crime universally, man. We ain't ready to just be having no motherfucking picks. Oh, yo, we ain't co-signing that. Now, of course, people gonna get in trouble. People gotta face the consequences for their actions. They do. But now they also convince y'all that it's okay when a nigga commit a whole bunch of crimes and get locked up and tell. They done convince y'all that shit was cool. Like, man, what the fuck? People better have their own motherfucking mind, man. Can't have it both ways, man. We can't say we want people to go to jail for the things that they do. And then also, when people do go to jail for the things that they do, they get out and then tell on other people. And they get a break. Like, no, fuck no, yo. That shit is ass backwards. That shit backwards.
Access to the text message conversations. And then they're doing this stuff with 35 witnesses. Gonna tell the jury a story for 2 weeks. It's supposed to be, yo, this is the murder, this is the shooter, this is the proof he paid. Little Durk update.
Yo. And I also don't like circumstantial evidence either. I don't like circumstantial evidence, man. Circumstantial evidence is what leads to a lot of people getting convicted falsely. Like, I think evidence need to be concrete. I think evidence need to be concrete, man. I don't like the fact that niggas is able to get in trouble and then snitch. Them niggas are lie, man. And their credible and their testimony be taken as credible when they under indictment their goddamn self. A person under pressure will do anything and say anything. I told y'all in my case, they got a nigga that pled guilty to being a shooter that wasn't even there, just so he can get a motherfucking dead on another murder. That's cool. That makes sense to people. That just shows you how much that a person under indictment will do. It just show you what they will do to get from under whatever, deduct any accountability of what the fuck they got going on. Where people will plead guilty to crimes they didn't commit just to lock yo up. That's fucking crazy, man. And the system recognizes this as a practice. That's dirty as shit. I ain't even know, before I got in that situation, I didn't even know people did that. Like, you couldn't have told me, yo, that people plead guilty to things they didn't do. You couldn't have told me that. And I believed it. Man, fuck no. I don't like, man, hell no, man. Niggas don't do that. But shit, yeah, the fuck they do. That we just gotta do, Baltimore, man. Wins $11 million. We just got a guy that just got out of jail for a wrongful conviction. $11 million. Like, this is how wrongful convictions happen, man. Listen to it. Circumstantial, not strong evidence.
Tell us about sales.
Yeah, so we did $2 million.
Malicious prosecutions.
Decades in prison for a murder he did not commit. Now, Baltimore City will pay him $11 million. The money will settle Anthony Hall's claims that police threatened witnesses into framing him for the killing. WJZ investigator Mike Hellgren is live in West Baltimore with Hall's incredible journey. Mike, good evening.
Good evening. It really is, and this is where all the
shit.
The trouble started in a desolate alley off a desolate street off Edmondson Avenue. Now, the main witnesses recanted, and today, the mayor, who was 7 years old at the time of this killing, offered an apology. The year 1992. Dancers were grooving on WJZ's popular Shakedown program.
We celebrate.
Denise Koch was honoring legendary anchor Al Sanders for 2 decades on the air here.
It's a beautiful day for a home run.
After years of construction, Camden Yards opened to the public, and Anthony Hall was just beginning his sentence for killing Gerard Dorsey. Hall would spend the next 25 years behind bars for a murder he did not commit, which unfolded in this trash-strewn alley in West Baltimore.
The police department isn't where we want it to be, but it's a hell of a lot better than where it was when I was a young person.
Hall sued the city, accusing police of intentional misconduct, forcing people in the neighborhood to lie about what they saw. There was no physical evidence tying Hall to the killing here, and authorities were never able to develop a motive. They relied on 2 witnesses. In a sworn statement, one of them, Nancy Hill, said detectives treated me like a suspect. They repeatedly accused me of lying. They threatened to lock me up for withholding evidence related to the murder of Mr. Dorsey.
Why they not doing this to them kids that's involved in that Nolan Wells situation? Why they not treating them with the same level of motherfucking aggression? You know what I mean? Man, fuck out of here and that system. I never co-sign that shit. Till they make that shit fair for all.
If I did not tell their version of events. Hall writes, after hours of being interrogated, crying, and wanting to protect my children, I said what the detectives wanted. That I saw Mr. Hall run by me before I heard the gunshot killing Mr. Dorsey. That was a false statement.
I'm sorry that you had to go through that. That's a long time for something that you did not do. And $11 million cannot make up for time lost with family and time lost with people.
All those in favor of approving this item, say aye. Aye. The ayes have it.
Baltimore Spending Board approved the $11 million, one of the city's largest settlements ever, without any opposition. But praise for reforms within Baltimore police they hope will prevent what happened here all those years ago from happening again.
This is not an isolated incident where we see someone whose life and livelihood was so badly harmed by a wrongful conviction that many decades later, we're now paying out $11 million to settle up. This is why we've changed policing in Baltimore.
We did reach out to Hall's.
Yeah, man. Why they ain't putting the press on them boys, man? If that was some black boys, they'd have rounded all of them up and locked their ass up. Made their family struggle to get lawyer money and everything. You know what I mean? Even if they didn't do it. Because I don't know if they did it or not. I'm just saying the way that they treating them niggas is not. That shit is new to me. I ain't never known them to treat people like that. Not in my community. They're gonna lock everybody up and make you prove your innocence. Ain't no innocent until proven guilty. Your ass is guilty until proven innocent.
Have you ever seen a product that transforms any ordinary space into a dreamy underwater world in just 1 second? Meet the Kamau Immersive Ocean Projector, the mood light that's taking the market by storm.
This is why we've changed policing in Baltimore.
Baltimore city leaders agreeing to pay millions to a wrongfully convicted man. Anthony Hall spent more than 25 years in a state prison after Baltimore City Circuit Court convicted him of second-degree murder in 1992 based on testimony from police and 2 witnesses. Hall fought the conviction for years, asking the Mid-Atlantic Innocence Project to investigate his case. That investigation uncovered evidence that had been withheld, according to federal court filings. The primary witnesses then revealed they were threatened by Baltimore police and forced to make false statements.
Whether it's because, police had coerced them or they had been sort of pushed to identify Mr. Hall in this case, they were recanting their statements.
In 2023, the same court that convicted Hall found he was innocent. The state dismissed his case. A judge later found he was wrongfully convicted, awarding almost $2.4 million. Hall sued Baltimore police and the officers involved in 2024.
So ultimately, we were recommending a settlement in the amount of $11 million.
Today, the City Board of Estimates voted unanimously.
All those in favor of approving this item, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. The item is approved.
Mayor Brandon Scott offered an apology.
I'm sorry that he had to go through that. That's a long time for something that you did not do.
Yo, it ain't no apologizing for that, man. Like, you can't pay a person after that. like, there's no amount of money that you can pay, yo. Like, you talking about 29 years, 25 years? Gone. That's why I don't agree with circumstantial evidence. Hold on, let me put this phone on the charger. Like, I don't like that shit, man. I think it leaves too much room for error. It leaves too much room for error, man. Like, even witness testimony, yo. Like, them people who coerce you, man. For real. You know how many cases I've covered, yo, where what's the calm case? Praying. That man said, yo, the star witness, nobody on the case know him. Joe said, in his case, nobody knew the star witness. You feel me? Like, what type of shit is that, man? Nobody knew him. But this is the star witness on the case. told y'all in my own case, y'all. They had this nigga plead guilty, and it was evidence that this nigga wasn't there. No way he could have been there. You know what I mean? It was corroborating evidence, corroborating witnesses that co-signed his whereabouts during the time of the incident. And they let this nigga plead guilty. Not even just to being there. They let a nigga plead guilty to being a shooter. Hey, this is a dirty, corrupt system, man. It's a dirty, corrupt system, man. That preys on black people. It's just sad that there's so many black people that co-signs this shit. Nah, y'all, we don't co-sign this shit over here. Nope. Not until they start treating everybody the same. Not until they start treating everybody the same. Till then, we always gonna take opposition. Like, they don't have no strong case against Durk. You trying to give a man life in prison with all circumstantial evidence. Everything is circumstantial. Nothing concrete. Nothing concrete. No smoking gun, per se. You know what I mean? That shit crazy, yo. They got all these lying ass blogs. I forgot to just put that phone on the charger. Nah, he gonna get more than that at the taxes. They might only, a lot of times they don't even take taxes out of settlement money. Sometimes they do. It depends on the situation. I'm motherfucking knee been hurting y'all for like a month and change, y'all. I think I motherfucking tore my fucking what the fuck was that shit? I looked it up yesterday. I can't even remember what it was, y'all. But whatever it is, I think I tore that shit or sprained that shit. Man, police crooked as a motherfucker, man. That's why, yo, I don't never, ever, ever believe the federal government when they be putting out their version of events. Like, we done caught them niggas in hella lies just in Durk case. They got a whole indictment from the grand jury with false information. The first indictment, and I don't think they're gonna be able to bring this up in trial either. I wish they could have. The first indictment of Durk, yo, was fucking riddled with false information. They had the video, what was that? Wonder Man, or whatever the fuck that shit called, where it had the Quando Rondo screaming no. They played that for the grand jury to get an indictment. They told the grand jury that it was proof of payment and that Didi paid the other people. They put this in front of the grand jury and got that nigga indicted, and that shit was a fucking lie, man. Shit was a lie. This is dirty, man. I ain't never gonna co-sign that shit. And I don't like the way that they're attacking the black community. If you go back to that article where that social shit happened, that's why I told the fucking the motherfucking writer. I don't like how they attack the black community, man. I don't. They hit niggas with all these fucking RICOs, but a lot of times niggas not even. It's just a group of niggas that hang together. Ain't no organized crime. There ain't no motherfucking mob. They just don't got no case on individual charges, so they know it's easier to get a conviction on a RICO. That's fucked up, man. When the fuck they gonna RICO the KKK? Or some of these white nationalists, white supremacist groups? They ain't caught a RICO yet. Has the KKK ever caught a RICO? I don't think they have, man. At least they haven't in the last 20 years. But they want RICO our community. Lock up a whole bunch of low-level drug dealers. Get them niggas 20 years, 15 years and shit. Them niggas ain't even got no money. Them niggas just trying to survive. Right. Yeah, it was a fan edit video. They used that video to get that man indicted. They lied. And they probably knew it was a fan edit video. They just thought they wasn't gonna get caught. That's what they do. If you don't got the money to fight, yo, they gonna run over top of you, man. That's how that system works. I had a podcast in the beginning, yo. Me and my baby mother started it. I'm just so far out. Like, if I was closer to the city, I probably could do a podcast. But since I'm so far away and I don't know nobody there, that shit probably be hard to do. Probably be hard to do. Man, this system fucked up, man. It's just crazy that we got people like Charles the Writer, Whack 100, that convince people that the system is okay. Right. They probably made them say that, bro. That's what I'm saying. Now all of a sudden they got a witness who was in the Piss Me Off video years later saying he bought the car. Right. They probably just introduced that in evidence. They probably made Joe say that, bro. Like, that's, see, yo, people don't, the average person, yo, if you ain't never had no run-ins with this system, you don't know how dirty it is, man. This shit dirty, yo. They will make a nigga say something, man. For real. They will basically give a nigga a script. Like, look, this is what I need you to say on the stand. And if they don't get caught, that shit gets swept under the rug. I guarantee a lot of them witnesses that's in this Durk case got coerced. They was feeding them information. I'm telling you. Then they turned the video camera on. The whole time. What case was that? We had another case. What case was that where the initial interview wasn't recorded? And they turned the recording on late. I don't know. We done covered so many fucking cases. I forgot. But y'all, it was one of them cases that we covered. Where the main witness. Look how they did Tory Lanez. That was fucked up. That Chinese dude, I think they scared him with some type of extradition. You know what I mean? I think they was going to extradite Joe. That nigga changed the shit out your statement. First, Joe said Kelsey pulled the gun. That nigga got on the stand and said, no, fuck what I said originally. You know, when I wasn't contacted by law enforcement. And I ain't sit down with the prosecution. Fuck all that. No, Tory shot the gun. That was dirty as a bitch and they getting away with it. That nigga still locked up. And it was obvious that that witness got coerced. Obvious that witness got coerced. The only independent witness who original statement say he seen the girl shoot the gun. It's on video. He seen the girl shoot the gun. Got on the stand after sitting with the prosecution in Rock Nation and saying, no, Tory Lanez shot the gun. Shit fucked up, man. It's a dirty game, man. Dirty game. I'm fucking hungry. I gotta get something to fucking eat. Right. Yeah, man. Gun residue all over our motherfucking hands. You ain't got no residue on Tory. Yo, that's why I don't mind what Trump is doing. You know, Trump is coming after all his political adversaries, hitting them niggas with indictments. I don't mind that shit because they did the same thing to him. It just shows you that this so-called independent government, it ain't independent. You know, they can be moved on. Like, that was the whole prosecution of Diddy. That whole prosecution of Diddy was influenced by somebody, man. Or some people. That wasn't no regular prosecution. That smear campaign, yo, all that shit was crazy. Yo, y'all remember that? It's crazy because we covered it the best out of anybody on YouTube. Ain't nobody on YouTube covered that Diddy situation better than us. Nobody. Nobody. That's facts. That whole situation. When they was pushing all them lawsuits and everybody was going crazy. I'm like, yo, ain't nobody getting paid until this day. Nobody got paid. Nobody got paid for them lawsuits. Most of them lawsuits got tossed out because it wasn't about the lawsuits. It wasn't about getting paid. It was about slandering him enough to the media that we can get a conviction in court. That's what that shit was about, man. It's a dirty ass game, yo. And a lot of these bloggers participated in it. Whether it was directly or indirectly, they participated in it. They helped push false narratives so they can get that man convicted, man. Right, and Cassie should have been fucking locked up with his ass. Fucking Cassie committed more crimes than Diddy. I was going to do a video, Surviving Cassie video. I just ain't never had the time to do it. Niggas lucky I ain't doing uploads no more like I used to. Because if I did, oh my God. Yeah, they destroyed that bad day. Even the lie that Nancy Grace put out. Yo, Diddy didn't get beat up. Not from my knowledge. And my homeboy people's up there with Diddy. Them niggas not on the same tier, but they in the same jail. To my knowledge, Diddy plucked the nigga first. Diddy didn't get beat up like Nancy Grace put out there. Nigga not get beat up. Shit was a lie. Fucking lie. Hey, I was gonna do a Survivor Cassie. I think it's gonna be a lot of people testifying against Durk that's gonna surprise niggas. I think it's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna get on that stand and testify against Durk that we ain't suspect. I do. I think Nemo gonna be up that bitch. We ain't heard nothing from him. Where the fuck yo been at? At he caught that indictment, we ain't heard that nigga been fucking radio silent. That's just my opinion. I ain't got no proof to it. I just see how he talk on them interviews, and it's like, if you could talk like that on them interviews, you're talking that interrogation room, nigga. I ain't trying to hear that. You're talking that wrong. It's certain. And I think Diddy got Shine, put Shine in position to be who he is and believes. Damn, my fucking elbow. What the fuck on my elbow? Yeah, I think Diddy had a role in that. But yeah, yo, this government can be. It's not no independent government, man. If you got enough money, you can force an indictment. They forced the indictment on Diddy. Tarnish that man's name, legacy. Got the whole world thinking that nigga was motherfucking molesting children. And then they pushed a false narrative on Diddy parties. And the only reason they did that is so he can't have no support. That shit was real strategic. I was telling people, I'm like, yo, shit ain't about no parties, yo. Diddy parties ain't the problem. It wasn't never about no parties. Y'all can remember? James, you was over here when we was covering that shit. It wasn't never about no parties, yo. Diddy parties was never the issue. It was always Diddy freaking off with his girlfriends. I said that shit from the beginning. Well, once the paperwork started coming out. It's like, where read paperwork that Law and Crime will read. And all these other people will read. But for some reason, our motherfucking takeaways from the paperwork be totally different. Like, how the fuck we reading the same paperwork? And I'm saying this, and you saying that. Like, I can see if it was like, you know, but it's like I'm all the way over here with it, and you all the way over there. What the fuck? No, something ain't right. Somebody lying, and it ain't me, because I don't get on this bitch and lie. Had the world thinking that we was going to find out he was molesting children, and Meek Mills was going to be involved. And, man, that shit was horrible, man. That case right there really opened my eyes up to the games that the federal government play. And that's when I realized that they are using YouTubers. That was the most obvious. That was the most obvious. Like, oh shit, they really got some of these niggas working for them. Because how we reading the same paperwork and we so far apart on our stance? You know what I mean? That shit made zero sense. It's like, oh, you getting paid by them people. Or you just ain't got no integrity. You know what I mean? Hey, yo. I think 99% of the people went into that Diddy trial thinking it was going to be some proof for him fucking with girls. I mean, kids. And men. Except for us. We probably was the 1%. Or the people that believe what I was saying. Because some people just thought I was talking. But for the people that believe what I was saying, we probably was the only ones that knew that shit was some bullshit. Man, fuck yeah, man. Man, federal government is all up and through social media, man. CIA, FBI, all these agencies, man. They all up and through social media, man. You don't know who these people is. I'm telling you. Like I said, you don't never see nobody vouch for them in the comments. Like you got the one nigga that be pandering to the women. You find out that this nigga told on his cousin. What's the nigga name, yo? He be pandering to the women and shit. That nigga's a whole rat. Nigga told on his cousin, man. Got his cousin hella time. The brown skin dude. I don't know his name because I don't watch him, but he pop up on my timeline sometimes. Now he pandering to the men now. It's like, God damn, bro, you just all over the place. You just gonna go wherever the money take you. You know what I mean? Wherever the money take you, you just gonna go. Hey, y'all niggas is wild. Niggas is wild. Man, fuck yeah, man. They jumped on social media early, y'all. I keep trying to explain to people how they did it. They jumped on the social media early. You know, you gotta think, yo. See, yo, when you analyzing them, you gotta like look at it from their point of view. You gotta look at it from the point of view of controlling the narrative and how important it is. How it always that's the whole reason that's the whole reason they even started news. You know, when news started, it was just what it says. It was just news. But once they realized how influential news was, or let's take the rap music. Like when rap music and hip hop started, it was just hip hop. It was just a way to make some money and make people dance and da 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 da. But once they realized how much influence it had, they realized that, yo, we can turn this into something else. You know, we can take this influence and turn this influence and make profit. We can privatize these prisons, get these rappers to rap degenerate music, the rap drug selling, killing, and all this other shit because of the influence that they have. And now we can make money off that while ultimately fund this and make money off this too. It's the same game, yo, that fucking one dude was playing with the page he was running in Baltimore, man. I can interview these niggas, get these niggas to talk about this shit, and put it in a video. You feel me? So I can make money. I can make money off this and profit off that, and niggas don't even know, yo, because it's like I'm using one hand to wipe the other. It's a dirty game, man. And most people are followers. You know, most people don't even have their own mind. But yeah, yo, like the news wasn't always propaganda, man. I remember during the pandemic, I was sitting back watching the news, and I noticed, oh, bitch, move. And I noticed that, yo, they not just giving us the news, they telling us what to think of it. That's not news, that's propaganda, man. The news isn't supposed to tell you what to think. It's just supposed to give you the news. You know, this happened on this day at this time. On to the next topic. No, they don't do that no more. They tell you this happened at this day at this time, and this is the reason why. You feel me? This is how you digest this information. That's propaganda, man. That's propaganda. That ain't news. And once they realize that, like I was going back to my original point when I was talking about social media, when you got a new, yeah, she was the worst, and she's still bad. You should see what she's doing with the Nolan Wells case. Like she's not doing the family a service at all. Like she literally reports on anything that comes out about the case. Like you don't care about that kid, man. You ain't even black for real. Keep trying to act like you black and we and fuck out of here. But yeah, like when it come down to social media and this new form of media, you gotta think, y'all. This social media shit is new. You know, this some shit that happened within the last 20 years. This ain't always been around. But this is the way the world is moving. You know? And going back to the narrative and how important it is, yo, we can't just have organic people building no following. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's why you think that now all these news organizations got YouTube pages. That just happened within the last 7 years. Go back 7 to 10 years ago, CNN and Fox News, they didn't have no YouTube page. They realized that, yo, we got to spread our wings, yo, because we can't have organic people building mass followers, because then we lose control of the narrative. So the only way to stop that is, or not, you can't stop it, but the only way to combat that is yo, we got to bring our own people. It's really that simple, yo. Like when you look at it that way, it's common sense when you hear people say some of these niggas is working with the police. It's common sense. Umar Johnson part of the play. They rolled him out early. They rolled him out early, man. That's why he ain't getting arrested for that fucking fake ass school that he running. Because he a part of the system. He a part of the system. Black Lives Matter or something. But yeah, it's really that simple though. We gotta create our own people. Right. Yeah, they've been on there for a while. MSNBC. Yeah, we gotta bring our own people, man. That way we ain't gotta stop the organic person speaking. But we gonna make sure that they ain't got the loudest voices in the room, too. You know what I mean? They can't have the loudest voices in the room. We gonna make sure, and that's why when you see people like Don Lemon getting fired, just look at all the people that got fired from them major news sources. They ended up on YouTube. Did they really get fired? Or is this just the company spreading out their message? Make you question it, yo. You know what I mean? Make you question it. Skip Bayless. Did he really get fired? Or is they just needed a person over here, person over there. We're gonna keep our main shit, but we need people on every avenue of this internet shit. That's how I be looking at it. Now it's a good news story to say this person got fired, and yeah, of course some of them is getting fired, but I don't know if all of them is. I don't know if all of them is. For real. Yeah, you can. You can. Sometimes they go overboard and you can be like, oh, there go one on right there. I told you another way to notice them is, when you got these podcasters popping up and they getting like interviews with Charleston White, knowing Charleston White charged $10,000. Like, how the fuck are you just pop up your first interview with Charleston White, Terrence Gangster Williams, motherfucker? You understand what I'm saying? Like, hold the fuck up, y'all. What you do on your spare time to even accumulate $10,000 to just give to a nigga? You feel me? How many people got that to just give away for an interview that's not even guaranteed you're gonna make your money back? That's how you can tell, like, the podcaster type. They just come out of nowhere and they just share it all over everywhere. Like Like how they did Baltimore Call. Or how they did that girl. What's the little white girl name that had that Drake interview? How the fuck she just pop up with a Drake interview? Remember the little white girl? They was trying to force feed us for a minute. But she ain't, people rejected her. Her first interview was Drake. Like, yo, what the fuck, bitch? You ain't got no history on social media like that. And your first interview is Drake. Then more than likely, if it came down to a payment, that shit gonna be probably 100. You know what I mean? 50. At the least. Nah, man. Ain't nobody jumping out the door like that on no motherfucking opportunity. You know what I mean? On no motherfucking whim. Nah, y'all. These people, nah, you working for somebody. What's the girl name, y'all? The little white girl, man. Remember she was on every platform. And people was in the comments complaining like, yo, why y'all trying to force this girl on us, man? Funny Marco interview. Yesterday, Bobby Altoff. Is it Altoff? Yeah, that girl. Yeah, that girl. Where the fuck she come from? Oh, let me show you one of the funniest ones. That's obvious. Here, police. Hold on. It's obvious this nigga the police right here. And I was waiting for somebody from Virginia to call him out. Can Capone. Obvious this nigga right here is the police. Well, big homie CC is one. He won.
Is snapping.
He won. First interview, millions something views. Came out talking crazy about Diddy. No proof that he even knows Diddy. No footage. Nobody co-signed. He just started talking crazy.
G Herbo.
Hold up. But he ain't the most notable one. Where the fuck this nigga at? I know Can Capone, because Can Capone want to introduce this clown. Y'all know the nigga I'm talking about. One of the Clips niggas was on his ass. But the guy that did the Fed time used to manage the Clips. He had something to say about him. Fuck this nigga at, man. Man, the fuck you took the videos down? No, it's on this nigga page. Nigga's a fucking wild Thornberry type nigga. This nigga right here.
We're gonna get into some current events going on, man. Right now, Pooh Shiesty is in jail fighting for his life.
This nigga,
he
yo.
has been accused
Yo, he is
of
the
robbing.
worst. He's like the most obvious out of everybody. Like, yo, this nigga be on this motherfucking act talking crazy. Listen to what he said about the Pooh Shiesty shit. Oh, I gotta hit your back. Listen to what he said about the Pooh Shiesty shit.
Gucci Mane. Well, him and 8 other people have been accused of robbing Gucci Mane, including his cousin Big 30 and his dad. So it's pretty wild. It's not looking good, man. They're saying He's got witnesses.
Yeah.
They got an undercover cop. They're saying is a witness. They're saying a cameraman is a witness who they showed pictures of who allegedly got beat up pretty bad during this. You know, they're saying he put the Draco to his head. I mean, the accusations are crazy, man. What are your thoughts on this?
Hell yeah, it's crazy. I like that type of shit, Cam. I like that type of, you know? I like that. He remind me of myself, you know? If he play with me, I'm taking all his shit, you know? We taking everything. And we making that buy that shit back for more money. I like that shit. I like that type of. I think personally, Gucci is a straight bitch. You know, I would have died in the motherfucking studio.
Listen to this
Straight
nigga,
up.
yo. Yo, like when the nigga is talking utter bullshit. You feel me? Like, yo, he talking about he from Virginia. Bad news. What the fuck yo say he from? What part of Virginia? Like, yo, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Think they gonna pull it on me? Well,
okay. Well, we gonna got witnesses. They got an undercover cop. They're saying is a witness. They're saying a cameraman is a witness who they showed pictures of who allegedly got beat up pretty bad during this. You know, they're saying he put the Draco to his head. I mean, the accusations are crazy, man. What are your thoughts on this?
Hell yeah, it's crazy. I like that type of shit, Cam. I like that type of, you know? I like that. He remind me of myself.
Hey, yo.
If he play with me, I'm taking all his shit, you know? We taking everything. And we making that buy that shit back for more money. I like that shit.
Nobody knows this nigga,
I think personally, Gucci is a straight bitch. You know, I would have died in the motherfucking studio. Straight up. Think they gonna pull it on me? Well, I'm either going to heaven or I'm going to hell. Cause you know, like I said, they gonna have to kill me to take this shit up off of me. I ain't giving up shit.
Okay, well, we're gonna get into some current events going on, man. Right now, Pooh Shiesty
It gets bad, yo. It's horrible. Like, yo, who is this nigga? Nobody in Virginia knows him. Nobody knows this nigga, man. Like, yo, they literally create these niggas. Like, I'm telling you, they create niggas like him to keep niggas like me and others from prospering in this shit, man. Bitch. This shit is crazy. Like, yo, the man be talking wild. Hold up, let me see. Let me find another one.
Okay, well, we're gonna get into Crit, man, I wanted that little part of the. You heard you were locked up.
The nigga be talking wild, yo.
I believe All-Star JR did what he was supposed to do, but I feel like he didn't all the way do what he's supposed to do because he's supposed to kill his ass. Why didn't he kill him? You shooting him in weird spots in the neck, man. We doing headshots around here. We want to kill somebody. We like that type in the hood, Cam, so we can brag about that later.
I don't think Ben 10 is alive for lack of trying.
Yeah?
I'll be honest with you.
Sure, his legs ain't working either. His legs look like this. His shits ain't moving at all. His legs ain't moving at all from what I'm hearing. I'm seeing him getting facials in there and shit like that. I think YoungBoy need to come out and put belt to these. Honestly, this is what YoungBoy need to do. He need to come out and put belt to these, because that's what need to happen. Straight to belt, because obviously they can't get the job done.
What do you think about it all being over a chick?
Every day. If it play with my wife, I'm straight up. I don't play with over my mother.
Listen to this nigga.
Straight up. She gonna be talking to me through the wall. She already know. She better answer that phone too, because when I get home, I tear that up.
Listen to this nigga, yo. That nigga is promoting crashing out over a female. Like, any real nigga would have been like, man, that shit was dumb as a bitch. Any real nigga would have denounced that behavior. Like, yo, y'all niggas did all that over a girl, yo, that is crazy. Yo, we already talked about it. Y'all know my take on that part. You feel me? Like, yo, hold up. It gets worse, yo. Like, this man is the worst nigga on the internet right now. It's just nonsense.
A Newport News resident and shipyard employee known by the stage. Think anybody else sign Flacco? He'd be 100 called in on the side of.
Now, somebody from Virginia finally called you out. Like, oh, who the fuck is this nigga? Do anybody know him? And the answer is no. Nobody knows this nigga. That nigga said Gucci supposed to die. Nah, fuck no. Gucci did what the fuck he was supposed to do, nigga. Motherfucking oblige. The fuck you talking about, nigga? You what the... Like, yo, you out here just pushing nonsense, man. And people watch this shit and listen to this shit and mimic it. You're gonna get somebody killed, man. Playing dumb. Man, nigga put a gun to you, man. Kick that shit out, man. What the fuck? Don't play dumb, yo. It ain't worth it. Especially if they do it right. Bad talk crazy, y'all. Hold up, it get worse. What the fuck your name is? I'm gonna show one more, y'all. My phone ready to die. Nigga, obviously CIA or something. Like I should have put him in the thumbnail. Yeah, man. He part of the YouTube. I'm sure he caught a case before he became a YouTuber. Sure he did. Fuck your name is.
Neil, a Newport News resident and shipyard employee known by the stage name
OG
Low Ghost.
Pulled up. How was work, bro?
Oh, man. Excited getting. I had niggas prices up there.
Listen, these niggas in Virginia trying to get clout on my motherfucking name, nigga. Listen, nobody on the West Coast know you niggas. Straight the fuck up, nigga. Look at me and look at your bitch ass, nigga. Straight the fuck up, nigga. Listen, half you niggas having sex with your mama, your brother. Y'all niggas on some Hills Have Eyes, West Virginia old weirdo shit, nigga. And I got the nerve to hate on me, nigga, cause your music career in the fucking trash. You gotta go to work cause nobody's streaming your shit, nigga. So you wanna hate on me, nigga? You's a bitch.
Look,
listen, these niggas
that's the first thing niggas do when you call them out for being fake. Nigga hating. No, yo, you just not who you say you is, bro. Like, it ain't hate. You just a bluffing ass nigga, bro. But shit, let me get out this live, y'all. I've been live for a couple, down there 2 hours. My motherfucking brother just came home, ready to holler at y'all. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share the live. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'm out.